There is this question. There are these days, sometimes multiple days, in which you become very limited in what it can be accomplished in the physical. And you want so much to create and do because you are of divine, and divine is always creative, and let us see what we can make, let us see what we can do. And you feel that you are falling behind because these days of not being able to do anything in the physical keep coming upon you. There is also the shame that is placed there on the slave culture that exists, that if the slaves do not work, they have no value. That needs to be released. It is being released, and released back to the nothingness that it really is. But you must understand, in the darkness of the dark, there is much that you have dealt with. And I will use the word endured. And during the enduring and dealing with and moving through that, you have in your, what is that word? I will call it a project. There is a project or a situation that arises and which takes a tremendous amount of divine energy to flow and move through. And you have focused that divine energy into those situations to bring in light. But while you are doing this, the physical is becoming, I'm trying to find words to describe this accurately, but there will not be any, so I will just have to do the best that I can. You are seeing it and grasping it. It is like the darkness is still engulfing the physical while the light is being pulled in. And there is a pulling aside of the darkness and that which the darkness is doing to the physical while the light is being brought into the situation in which you have chosen specific situations to bring in the most reverberation of light. You have done this, we will say many times, often. There is now we have to clean up and go back and clean up some of the darkness that has been held back. And clean up around and clean up the edges and bring in the healing and deal with that. It is a part of the process of bringing in the light that is you are experiencing. And though you may not consciously be aware of it, there is a natural healing, if we will call it that, a healing, a mending that is taking place that has been, how can we say it? Time pockets of distortion to hold them back while you are working in another space to bring in light. Those time spaces are in a holding pattern and need to be healed and cleared up. So allow these days to come by and come through and allow the healing and the quiet that you physically need for this to occur. There is much that is being done in the healing and the mending of the time weaver, the expression of the time weaver and the time weaver that has been allowed to fray so that which was of vital importance could ripple out. Do not become overly concerned as though seeing things from that perspective that exists there, that, oh, I have not done the dishes. Oh, I have not accomplished this thing. Oh, I missed the opportunities that were before me today. Let me explain it in this way. As the time weaver, you have seen the time and you've seen the movie. It is all moving and throwing and folding in and moving out from each other. And you have chosen points of intersection where it is best to bring into light to have the biggest effect. And then there are also places that you have found that allowed you to take your rest periods in between these intersecting points of light that ripple forth. You must take these times of the rest. Think again back to the Star Wars movie, the Episode 1. When Qui-Gon is in the battle, in between when the force fields were erected and he could not get in between, he took those moments to collect himself and rest. And this afforded him, rather than moving as a caged animal, always biting at the chomp to move ahead, instead, accept those points and be thankful for these points when they come. We know that there is frustration because you're always wanting to accomplish more, but this is not the point for that. The point is yet to come or has already come, and this is the rest points that are needed to bring in the healing to allow points both past and future to occur. This allows for the bringing in of the light into the nexus points. So, be at peace in these points. Do not bring in more anxiety. Just be quiet in these points and allow that which must come to come. And do not bemoan that you are not acting in harmony with the slave culture. That is of no value, and it is not divine. Let that go. And do not worry about these days. And if it is that you are seeing that you are having many of these days close together, though different, understand that these are the chosen points that have been specifically set aside for the healing and the rest and the moving forward. This is not the nexus point. The nexus point may have already come or is yet to come. Accept these points with the gift that they are. Recall this. Recall